this thing and very critical of President Bush back in 2002 when he axed the Crusader program. And at that time, I remember Chief Shinseki got involved, and we reevaluated. To me, the FCS program is the first major transition of ground capability that we've had in some 50 years. And we've gone through this thing, we've made decisions, we look at the various elements of the FCS, and I refer specifically to the Inhofe cannon. The Inhofe cannon we're further along with that than anything else right now. A lot of money has been invested in it. We're still using and still will use, even on the previous schedule that we had on the Inhofe cannon. The Paladin, which we all understand, the basic Paladin was World War II technology. We've gone through some PIMs. We're going through one now. But I would just, in this case, I would just like to, I disagreed with your position to dismantle or to terminate the FCS program. But we do have some things written in the statutes saying that in the particular case of the Inhofe cannon, that should go forward. And the question I would ask you is that how do you plan to handle the fact that we have a law that says you're going to have to do something that you said you're not going to do?
Well, first of all, let me say that the front end part, the increment 1 of FCS is not only stays in the budget, but is enhanced and accelerated, and that is the networking, the UAVs, the unmanned ground vehicles, and so on. All of that is not only going to be completed, but it's not going to be limited to just 15 BCTs, but spread throughout the entire Army. So the whole front end, the networking part of FCS is being preserved and will be deployed. My problem was with the ground vehicles, and the premise behind the 8 vehicles in this program, including the cannon, was that they were all going to be based on a similar chassis. Mm-hmm. That chassis started out at 18.5 tons in 2003 or 2004, went to 26 tons in 2006, 27 tons in 2007. It's now at 30 tons, and it's likely to go to 35 tons. But they're still thinking about putting the cannon on a 30-ton chassis. So this thing has been filled with Band-Aids, and so what I'm asking the Congress to do is look at this thing, and it's the ground vehicle part of this that I think that I have taken an action and recommended to the President and is reflected in his budget. And it is because the original design of this program, including the cannon, did not take into account the lessons we have learned in Iraq and Afghanistan. The infantry fighting vehicle had a flat bottom, 18 inches off of the ground, clearly not taking into account anything. There's no provision made to use the MRAPs, in which the Congress has invested $26 billion. And the contract was all messed up. You've got 8 vehicles divided between 2 manufacturers. 90% of the performance fee is guaranteed at critical design reviews, so there's little performance incentive left for the rest of the program, including prototyping and so on. So I think between the failure of the program to be redesigned to take into account the lessons of the wars we were in and the shortcomings in the contract, that it was important for the Army to take a fresh look at all of the vehicles associated with this program and then move on. I couldn't agree more that vehicle modernization is a high priority, the Army's highest priority, and I totally support it, but we've got to get it right if we're going to spend $150 billion on it.
Well, Mr. Chairman, my time has expired. I'm aware of that. I would like to argue that point. As a matter of fact, as time went by and changes were made on the flat bottom and all of that, that shows that a lot of consideration was made and a lot of changes were made to update that to meet current needs. Now, I did want to get into a lot of other areas. I understand my friend from Georgia, I'm sure, will talk a little bit about the F-22, and I'll wait around for the next round because I do want to get into the missile defense part of this budget. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Inhofe. Just to complete just one thought of Senator Inhofe here, it just fits directly here. I also understand that you said at the Army War College on this subject that all of the money for FCS in the out years will be protected to fund the new vehicle modernization program. Is that an accurate quote?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.